All right, hocus pocus.
Everybody focus.
Activity numero uno.
Activity numero uno.
Patterns and zeros and ones.
Patterns, zeros, and ones.
Let's get at it. Instead of writing on your boards, because it's really hard to circle groups of zero. Get it?
Yeah.
And groups of ones is pretty lame to circle because it's every single number. So let's look at our ones first. Can you see the whole board?
Yeah.
Perfect. These are my ones count bys. The first ones count by is 1.
1,
Go ahead and say the rest with me. 2.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Is it safe to say that those numbers are pretty familiar to you?
Yeah.
So anytime that I multiply a number by 1, I get that number, right? It's still going to create that pyramid with our repeated additions, because having a 1 10 times is still 10 groups. But since each group is a 1, it's just 10. So the number doesn't grow very quickly. Capiche? I want to challenge you with some quick facts, and I'm going to use that randomizer and see who can solve for me. Are you ready? Ones multiplications, that's why you don't need to worry. So, my first one is 1 times 8. 1 times 8. Let's see. Mr. Riley, what would 1 times 8 be? 8. Bingo. How about 9 times 1, Maddie? Yep. 9. How about 3 times 1, Jade? 3 times 1. Say that again. Yes. Last one, 10 times 1. Keegan. 10. Now, class.
Yes.
When I'm dividing by 1, since I know that I can flip those equations from divisions to multiplications, or from multiplications to divisions, it keeps it pretty simple again. If I wanted to know 10 divided by 1, what I'm saying is I'm taking the total 10 and I'm just putting it all into one group. How much would be in that group? 10, right? So if I have 8 divided by 1, my answer would be 8. All right, I got some more challenges. See who the randomizers got for 6 divided by 1. Savannah. 6. How about 4 divided by 1? Dax. 4 divided by 1 is?
1.
If I take 4 and I'm putting it all in one group, how much is in that group? Took 4 and I put them all in one group. So how much is in the group? 4. You got it. Go ahead and clear that desk so you can be listening. Let's see. 1 divided by 1. Whoa, sneaky. Braylon? 1. And 2 divided by 1. Dax, the randomizer is really liking you today. 2 divided by 1. You got it. 2. Very nice. Are you ready to shift your brains? To give yourself a quick break. We're going to reverse because we're going from ones to zeros. So when I say reverse, you can go ahead and hop up and do the and then sit back down. Are you ready? Reverse. When you're sitting down, you're going to start seeing the zeros. We'll start looking at my new board. Hocus pocus.
Everybody focus.
Does anybody for a class point to get you on the board? Does anybody remember my fancy rules for zeros? Your shoes need to be on your feet. Fancy rules for zeros. Miss Jade. Anything times 0 is? She got it. What do you guys say?
Skylar. Oh, that wasn't me. That was
All right.
him.
Here's my facts. Check it out. They did not list my count bys, and I'm going to show you what I mean. So I'm going to show you kind of half and half, the zeros and the ones. See how usually we have our count by, and then we say that's equal to whatever fact. They didn't even give me my count bys on my zeros. Why would that be? Why did they not list my count bys? Teach. Skylar, put it down so you can talk with your partner. Oh, okay. 2, 0. That's. Who can tell me why they didn't list those count bys? Why not? Miss Ryland.
Because 0 is nothing. Because if you times 0 times 0 equals still 0.
It is. 0 is nothing. So if I have something 0 times, it's like it doesn't exist. It's you have it no times. You have nothing. Very good, Ryland. Which is why I have to tell you, multiplying by 0 is easy because everything times 0 is 0. But what if they ask you something like this? What if they say 5 divided by 0? Think about that. I don't want to hear you yet. I want you to really think because they're taking 5 and they're putting it into 0 groups. What do you think, Landon? Is that possible? Landon thinks it's going to be 0. Do people agree or think something different? Lots of people agree. Brielle's thinking something different. What do you think, Brielle?
Because if 5 goes into 0 groups, then it's just
If I have a number, if I have an amount, is it possible to make it just like disappear and put it nowhere?
No.
It still exists. And so, I have a fancy rule for you. You're going to get sassy with me for a moment. Are you ready?
I'm all
You can't divide by 0.
You can't divide by 0.
It's impossible.
It's impossible.
And on your work, they're literally going to write IMP or IMP, and it's really just short for impossible. So whenever you see that, if they try to trick you, you cannot divide by 0. If you have a number, it doesn't just disappear. It needs to stay on the floor. Okay? It's impossible. You can't just say like it doesn't exist anymore because we already have it. It's already there. However, if I have 0 and they want to try to divide it into 5 groups, that is the same as flipping my equation, right? Because I can flip that and say, okay, that's the same as something times 5 equals 0, correct? What do I multiply by 5 to get 0?
0.
0. So if it's 0 divided by a number, we still get 0. But can we divide by 0?
No.
Can I hear your sassy phrase again?
No.
You can't divide by 0. It's impossible.
You can't divide by
You ready for some
0.
quick
It's impossible.
facts? You ready? Okay. Randomizer's coming for you. So, here's my first quiz. Let's see. 0 divided by 8. Landon. What would 0 divided by 8 be? Ooh. It's 0. Good, Landon. Careful, I'm hearing a couple sidebars, but I know I should only hear whoever gets called on. Hadley, what is 8 times 0? 0. Water bottle should be on the floor, friends. What is 0 times 3? Landon, it chose you again. Ay, ay, ay. 0, crushing it. Miss Ellie, what is 3 divided by 0?
0. 3.
Can I divide by 0?
No.
So what can you tell me?
It's impossible.
It's impossible. You can't divide by 0. 3 divided by 0 is impossible. All right, next person. Hadley. All right, Miss Hadley. What is 7 divided by 0? It's impossible. I love it. She got a little sass wiggle in the head with that one. Maddie. What is 7 times 0? 0, yes. Addison. What is 0 divided by 4? 0, because it was the first number, right? So we get 0. Very good. Oh, this is the last one. I want to hear this from everybody because the randomizers are picking on Landon again for some reason. And that's not fair. So, class.
Yes.
What is 10 divided by 0? When I drop my hand, you can tell me the answer to 10 divided by 0.
It's impossible!
Oh, that got you a point. What do you say?
Oh, yeah!
Stand up, give yourselves 10 sailing jumps to get moving here, and we're going to do our next activity.